everybody, how are you doing? I hope you've been well since our last encounter, and welcome to this YouTube channel. My name is Imelda Njoki. I know we have been so lost, it's been such a long time, but we are back with another lifestyle story, and my guest is my childhood friend, that I must say. Tulikuwa tunaenda naye Sunday school pamoja, and then life happened. But here we are. She has really been busy, but she promised to come to my show, and she has done that. Asante sana kwa kuja.
Thank you too.
Karibu sana, feel at home. Yes, and today's topic is going to touch on mothers and children with special needs. I know it's a topic that most people don't like to talk about it, but when I saw Esther's courage on social media and how she champions for the rights of kids with special needs, she's going to tell us what her son's special condition is, and she's very passionate about this. I like how she's a warrior and she champions for this child. I just admire her on so many levels, and the special condition is cerebral palsy. Karibu sana.
Thank you.
You're going to tell us your name, what you do if you like, so that we can talk.
Okay, so I'm Esther Senewa Sinteu. Most people in my village know me as Senewa, but I'm at work I'm known as Esther.
All right.
Okay, I'm born in a family of two. I'm the first born by two African parents.
Yes.
My mom is alive and my dad, he went to be with the Lord. May his soul rest in peace. I'm a mother, a special mom to a very, very, very handsome boy in the world. His name is Adrian Mwangi Kimani, and he's currently, he'll be turning 9 years this year, October. We can't wait to have his birthday.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's been 9 years.
It's been 9 long years. 9 years.
It's been 9 years.
Yes.
And I saw your son's photos on Facebook, and where you put them on social media, and he's really grown.
Yes, he is.
He's very tall.
Yeah.
So how did you come to realize about cerebral palsy? Because as Google, we are not experts in this, but Google tells us that it's a condition that is a result of. How well do you understand cerebral palsy?
So the journey started way back in 2013 when I gave birth to him. At first we did not know. For the first 2 weeks we didn't know, but as I was growing up, I've nurtured some other kids, so I know the milestone that a kid has to have. So when my kid was around 3 weeks old, we noted some things he was not doing, because he was sleeping. He will sleep like 2 days, he's not waking up. When I gave birth to him, number one, he didn't cry. That is a very, very serious problem. A kid, when you give birth, the first thing, a kid has to cry, because when the kid cries, the oxygen generates in the brain. That is the first thing. So when I gave birth to Adrian, he never cried, and that is where the problem came in. And it was due to prolonged labor. So after 3 weeks, we realized there's something wrong with the kid. So we had to take him back to the hospital. When we took him back to the hospital, we were administered some drugs for 2 weeks, of which we gave him, but nothing changed. And Adrian never breastfed because he didn't have the reflexes. So that was also a sign that something is wrong with the kid. So we had to take we took him to Gertrude Muthaiga, and when we saw the neurologist, he said that we need to have a CT scan, and the CT scan took for around a month. And when the results came, it's when now the doctor told us that our kid has a condition, and that condition is cerebral palsy. At first, I felt like crying, breaking down, and for one, I didn't know what cerebral palsy is. I never knew what it was. So when he told us and he took us through what cerebral palsy is, now I had to go again to Mr. Google to know much about this. And it was not an easy thing to accept, I might say, because I remember when I gave birth, after the 3 months, when you stay at home, I was about 70 kgs. But after the results were out, and now this is a process, a condition that now we have to tackle, I lost my kgs up to 52 kgs.
Wow.
I almost went to depression, but thank God to the family and friends who supported me. They took me through, and the doctors. So coming to cerebral palsy, in the layman's language, cerebral palsy, it's a disease that is caused by brain damage.
Okay.
What most people don't know. So what people know is children with these conditions wamerogwa.
Yeah, sure.
Or it's inheritance from the family or something, but that is typically wrong. Cerebral palsy, it is not a disease. That is something people should know. It is a condition that if managed well, a kid can stay for so long, so long.
Okay.
Yeah, so...
Allow me to interrupt.
Okay, it's okay.
When you did you have a normal pregnancy?
Yes. My pregnancy for the 9 months, very normal.
Was it smooth?
Yes, very smooth. Actually, I worked for the 9 months.
Oh.
Nothing.
And when you were going for the antenatal clinics, when the doctors were checking the pulse rate, the baby was healthy?
The baby was very healthy, very okay. So the problem came in when I was supposed to give birth on 20th October.
That is that week? The term?
Yes,
40 weeks?
Yes, the 40 weeks term.
Okay,
That was, I was supposed to give birth on 20th October. But now, when I went back for the clinic, I was told I should wait a bit because I didn't have any pains.
Okay.
So the doctor told me I should go on 28th. So when I went to the hospital, the doctor told me now the kid he's okay, he has grown. Now what we will do, instead of them giving me the CS of what first I should say is I used to go for the clinics at Nairobi Women.
Okay.
And in my file, the gyna had recorded that I should not give birth normally.
Okay.
I should give birth through CS.
section.
Yes. Now when I changed the hospital from Nairobi Women now to the other hospital, I don't know if I should mention the name.
Please don't.
Yeah, I should not mention the name because they ruined my life.
Okay.
So when I took, the doctors had written a note because I told him the package for Nairobi Women is too expensive and I cannot manage it. So let me find an alternative hospital. So when I went to the alternative hospital, I gave them the note from the other doctor that was saying I should not give birth normally.
Through vagina.
Yes, I'm supposed to give birth through CS.
Yeah.
So the doctors there refused because now it is a missionary hospital. So they have the aspect that this is not the way we should follow this. So they told me now come on 28th. I'm a first mom. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I've not gone through these things. So I follow what the doctor is saying. So when I went to the hospital on 28th October, I remember very well, it was around 6 o'clock. So they took me to the labor ward at around 8 o'clock. So when they administered the drugs for me now to force labor now. Yeah, I remember I labored from 8 in the morning till 12 a.m. It was very painful.
Yes.
Very, very painful because I almost even collapsed. And when I woke up, the doctors told me that now it's clear you can give birth normally, so we have to do CS. And I was like, okay. I'm already drained, so there's no need even, because I wasn't even able to talk. So I just signed whatever I was supposed to sign, and then they did the CS.
They administered the CS.
Yes. And when they removed the fetus, the baby didn't cry. So they tried to prick his legs, they tried to slap him, he never cried. And
but
then
he was okay.
The kid was okay. He was breathing. So I was shocked. I was very shocked. And then I could hear the doctors telling me, no, you shouldn't be shocked. You are bleeding. We are trying to stitch you, but the stitches are coming off. So relax, the kid will be okay. After 5 minutes, the kid coughed. So I was now able to ask him, what sex? How many kgs? Is he okay? Is he going to live? And then they assured me, yes, he's going to live. Now the kid was taken wherever they took him and was taken to the other room.
For recovery?
Yes. So the following day, they took me to the nursery. My kid was 3.9 kgs. So they took me to the nursery to go and see him. In my mind, I didn't know what was happening. I didn't know, so I knew my kid is okay. Because now I don't know that As a first mom, I wasn't even sure of a kid has to cry. That was not even in my mind. So when I went to the nursery, I found out that they had kept the kid in the incubator. I was very mad. That was the first. I was very, very mad.
They hadn't told you about the kid being in the incubator?
Yes, and I was very, very mad because from the knowledge I know, a kid that should be kept in the incubator is the kid that is growing. Adrian is already 3.9 kgs.
Yeah.
Actually he was big than the incubator, so they had even to fold his legs for him to fit in. What? So when I looked at him, he was so dry, very dry, and then now they had put some oxygen in him, some other things that even I didn't want to ask. So I had to ask the nurse, why are you keeping my kid in the incubator? He's not growing. He's already actually he's past the weight. Yeah, can you kindly remove him there and keep him in normal temperature at least? Because even when you hold him, he was very, very, very rough. His skin was rough because I think of the heat inside the incubator. So they removed him and they kept him in the normal temperatures, and now he had oxygen. But mind you, no one told me what was wrong with the kid. No one. So when the kid is in the nursery room, you have to go after every 3 hours to go and breastfeed the kid. After every 3 hours you go. So when we were going out for the 3 hours to go and breastfeed the kids, I could see the other mothers are breastfeeding theirs. Mine is not breastfeeding. So he had a tube that was inserted from the nose. Okay. So I used to pump and then use a syringe. But unfortunately, I don't know what those doctors were thinking, because I think it's always nice you tell a person your kid is this and this. So I stayed in the hospital for 4 days, and then I remember it was on a Friday. The pediatrician now came in so that he could give us the report. So he was going around all the kids in the incubator, in the nursery room, sorry. Okay. So when he came to my place, I asked him, doctor, what is wrong with my kid? Because number one, the other kids are suckling well. Now it's day 4 and nothing is happening to my kid. The doctor told me, I'm sorry madam, but your kid has brain damage. I swear that crushed me.
I can imagine. That's very raw.
Totally crushed me.
Yes.
You know, I looked him in the face and I was like, what are you even saying? What are you even saying? Brain damage.
Did you understand? Did you know what that could cause? Did you know? I
didn't even know what that would cause. Yeah, they didn't even prepare me. Like take me to a counseling room and tell me, no, madam, your kid A, B, C, D happened, and then this is what you're supposed to do. That is what the doctor told me. Your child.
Professional.
He said your child has brain damage, and according to the report, your kid might live for only 3 years. So I felt really bad. I remember I cried so much. I cried and I left the room and went and called my mom. And I told her, now this is what the doctor is telling me. And if you don't take me off from this hospital right now, I am going to run out.
Did they offer any psychological help?
Nothing. 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 They did nothing. So after a day, I was discharged and I came back home. Nothing given. Did
you have family around at that time?
Yes. During visiting hours, almost all my family members used to come. Okay. And now you see in the nursery room, no one is allowed apart from the mom. So they only peep the kid through the window. But no one knew what was happening. No one. Actually, I think I was naive. Let me say that. Because whoever I was 2013 and who I am right now is totally different.
You can imagine, because you are pretty young, first time mom, excited to have a child.
Yes, exactly.
And then you've taken your antenatal clinic seriously, and then these things just
come. Yeah, and then you're like, brain damage. What? Even I googled what is brain damage. Then you see all those things, and then you're like, seriously?
Unfortunately, Google can also scare you.
Yes.
Now there's too much information. There's this new reality that is hitting you. What made you recover from that now?
Now, after all this, we go home, and then now we have to go to Muthaiga for special needs and everything. So after now, the doctor in Gertrude's, Dr. Munyan, is a very, very nice doctor. He told us that Number one, your kid has to start some therapy. There's some drugs that the kid has to start at a tender age of 3 weeks. So we administered some drugs for him, and then now we had to start therapy as early as 3 weeks old. Yeah, you can imagine the trauma.
So, yes, I can imagine. But before, whilst you're going for therapy, was your son physically okay?
Yes, Adrian was physically okay.
He could stretch his limbs?
No. He didn't do that. Actually, most of his time, he used to sleep. He was always asleep.
And how do you used to feed him now?
We used to feed him using a spoon. So I will pump the milk and then feed him with a spoon, of which you could take even like 4 spoons and that's it.
He's okay.
And he's okay, that's it.
He had no issues, no tantrums, no crying like newborns do?
He didn't used to cry like, no.
All right.
And his crying was, what I can term it's convulsion. Because when he used to cry, there are some things he used to do, like he would strain his hands so hard and he would cry. And then I was like, this kid is feeling some pain. This kid needs some help. Yeah? He would cry literally even through the night. He will cry from 11 till 4, non-stop.
Wow.
Until there's a day he cried, and so he would cry, and his crying was, as they term it, it was not a normal cry for a kid.
Now I can imagine as a young mom, because first-time parents sometimes cry with their children.
Yes.
I remember I almost dropped my son once because he was crying too much and there's nothing I could do for him. What helped you go through that phase again?
What really helped me so much was when we were going for these clinics, you'll meet other moms with the same condition. The kids have the same condition. Others are even worse. So when you talk to them, one, two to three parents, then you're like, even my son is okay. So you just feel relieved. And then we have some groups for special kid parents. So in those groups we have encouragement. So a certain parent will tell you this, another one will give you this side of the story. Kids will die also. In those groups you will see like 4 kids have died in a row, and then you are scared. But again, you don't have to lose hope.
You don't
have to lose
hope. I like how confidently you're speaking about this now, because it means that you have already accepted.
Yeah, I've already accepted the whole thing.
Right.
But it wasn't easy for the I think 2 years. It was hell. 2 years was hell for me, because acceptance was very, very hard. Because I couldn't think that my kid, I've waited for this kid for all this time, and then this is what is happening. I had dreams that if Adrian reaches this age, this is what I'm going to do. This is the school. I actually had a list. This is the school that he will go to. This is what I'm going to buy him. His birthdays will be like this. And then now come a block. But again, I thank my parents very much, because my dad was very, very supportive. Very, very. He was a pillar in my life, especially when it came to Adrian. He supported me a lot in many, many ways.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now you said you had to start therapy as young as
3 weeks old.
3 weeks old.
3 weeks old, yes.
So what was that therapy about?
So for the cerebral kids, there are normally 4 types. But now my kid has spastic cerebral palsy, where he's not able to move his hands, his reflexes are down, he can't move his legs, like he can't do anything for himself. He has to, we have to support him. So when I gave birth to him, actually we couldn't be able to put on his diapers, because his legs were what will I say? They were joined together, like here. You couldn't stretch his leg like this, and then his hands, he could only keep them like this, so he wasn't able to stretch them. So with therapy, they normally do some muscles therapy, where they will use there are some electric things they normally use for the kids. Yes, they stretch their muscles. It is not a process that you just wake up and then the kid is okay. It has to take time, because even now when he's 9 years, we normally do therapy, because you have to do therapy. For now we normally do it twice a week, because again you can't do therapy every day. What will I say? It normally makes the kid become so weak. Yeah, so you don't have to do it every day.
Is the therapy intensive? Is it very intensive?
No, not really. Not really. So with therapy, 1, 2, 3 years, now he was able to stretch his hands. Now his legs become his legs were very tight. They became so nice. But now with Adrian, he can't be able to do like this. Like he can't point you or tell you I want this, or maybe move. No, he's not, because even when he's sleeping, you have to go and turn him. He can't turn himself. Yeah,
that's okay. Now, was it financially draining?
Yes.
The whole process.
Yes, cerebral palsy. It's a very expensive condition because number one, the drugs are very expensive, and these are drugs that are on and off from the market, because in a month roughly we can use around 20 to 30,000 for the drugs, and they're only we normally use for drugs, and sometimes we lack them. I remember there is an year I had posted something in Facebook. I had lacked one drug, and a friend of mine had to bring it all the way from Nanyuki. So sometimes they are out of the market completely, especially during Corona time 2020. The drugs were off the market because 2 drugs are from India. So when Corona hit, we didn't have those drugs. Yes, and once a kid lacks a drug even a day, then you are done. You have to go to the hospital at night. It's serious as that.
Wow.
Yes.
But you have managed so far. You're doing
yes,
so
we've
well.
managed. We thank God. We thank God for everything. We've never lacked.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, what gave you the courage? Because coming out again on social media can be and can be helpful sometimes. So when I saw your stories on social media, what gave you that courage now to come out and say, this is my son, this is what he has, and to be the champion for CP warriors and parents like you? What gave you that courage?
So what I can say is what most special parents do not know is that these kids are just like the other kids. It's just an extra love that you give to them. So me coming out on social media and trying to portray everything about CP, I wanted to show other parents that these are our kids, we should not hide them, because once you hide that kid, it drains them. They know, and they realize that here I'm not loved, here I am loved. And even a kid getting drained and even reaching to a point of even passing on, it's very, very easy. Yes. So when I come out, I want to show the world that there is more to loving these kids, because when God gave me Adrian, he had a reason. He had a reason why he didn't give somebody else, and he saw it wise to give it to me. So that is why I showcase everything. I've never even I will never hide Adrian. Never. I expose him everywhere. Anytime I get a good caption of his picture, I'll just post it.
Wow.
Yeah.
And we see those photos and he's very cute.
Yes.
Now, how has that 9-year journey been? Apart from the financial draining, because I can imagine he also needs a lot of personal attention.
Yes.
That you're a working mom.
Yes.
First of all, he has care at home.
Yes.
Over house girl.
Yes.
So again, do you recruit these house girls, and do you give them special training, or what is it like now being with Adrian on a day-to-day basis?
So being in retail, it requires you to be more at work than at home. So, and thanks to God, I got the best nanny in the world, that I can say. Right now, it's almost 8+ years with her.
Wow.
She's very, very nice. She takes very good care of Adrian. I trained her nothing.
Nothing.
When she came in, I just told her, this is my son, he's a special kid. This 1, 2, 3, this is how the medicines are, this is what you're supposed to do. And life has to go on. Actually, she knows most of the things than I do. Yes, I'm very comfortable. Yes, I'm very comfortable.
You travel?
I travel. I'll leave Adrian and travel even for 2 days.
Wow.
And go. I will not even feel like I've left Adrian in bad hands or something. My nanny is just heaven sent. Wow. She's just heaven sent.
I think God just has a way of piecing things together for certain situations. That some people think that having such conditions is not medical.
Yes.
Some people say, what are some of the most weird misconceptions you've had so far about children with special needs?
So mostly people think that is something from the family, from the family side, or maybe there's something you did to someone, so he's bringing the bad spell on you. You see,
it is weird.
Yeah, it's weird, you know, because I remember there's a day, I won't mention their name, they told me like, umeangalia kwenyu kama kuna mtu mwingine kama huyo, and I was like, God, we need to be literate enough. We need to be literate enough. These things are medical. It's nothing to do with your family, it's nothing to do with inheritance, because CP, what causes mostly CP is prolonged labor, like mine was prolonged labor. There's epilepsy, there's meningitis. I can also fall down, hit my head, and I'll get CP. Yes.
So you can get it at any age?
You can get it
People just need to be informed.
Yes, people, and that is what the society lacks, information. Because and that is the main reason why maybe some of the parents hide their kids, because they don't know what is happening. Maybe I don't want to bring my child out and then niambiwe kwenu mnakuaga na disabled kids, you see.
Especially as Africans, I feel like it has befallen us so much so that people sometimes are asked to do even rituals, traditional rituals, which is very wrong. And that is why you're here now. As a mother, and with the good job that you're doing, what would you like to tell other parents who are outside whose children have special conditions? Could be anything, could be intellectual, and all the other special conditions. What would you like to tell those mothers?
So as a special mother, what I would like to tell the other parents who are like me, especially those who feel it wrong to bring out their kids. Number one, love those kids. Love them. Extremely love. Usibakisha hata kadogo. That is the first thing that you have to do. And then, if you don't know what is happening to your kid, kindly visit the hospital. The hospital will always help you. If you go to the hospital now, they will tell you, no, this kid is not supposed to be here. No, you have to go to a neurologist. And there are so many good neurologists. Like for my case, we normally see Dr. Oyatsi. He's I think he's the #1 in Kenya doctor. For the kids with CP and other conditions like autism and all those. So when you go there, they'll tell you, and you learn more, and you learn more about what is happening to your kids. The other thing is, if you are told to buy drugs for your kid, kindly do. Follow what the doctor is telling you. If there are sometimes we lack money for the drugs, and you just have to pray and tell God, no, today I don't have drugs, but please. It's very, very wise that you make sure that your kid doesn't lack those drugs. Because these kids are like small children. Their milestones are very, very slow. Like today, you will see your kid is doing this. When he lacks the drug after 2 days, he will forget everything. Then he'll go back to be like a toddler again.
Life-saving drugs.
Yes, they are life-saving.
That you must religiously follow.
Yes. We've been taking those drugs from 3 weeks till now. And now we are almost 9 years. So it is a journey.
What are the milestones that Adrian has hit? That has gotten you?
Number one, what I'm always happy with Adrian is he knows the voices and the footsteps of everybody.
Wow.
So when he'll hear me coming, he will know that is mom, and then he'll make some noise. He normally blabber, he'll say, ah. And then when I come in, even I don't talk, I think he knows mom smells like this.
So his senses are sharp.
Yes, he's very, very sharp. And then now we normally communicate. So when I come out from work, I'll go where he is, and then I'll tell him, Baba, what happened today? And then he'll be like, and then what happened? And then akakuchapa. And then when I keep quiet, like for 3 minutes, you'll hear him now making some funny noise, and then like, Mom, when you ulienda wapi?
He wants your attention again.
Yes. And Adrian knows mom ni mtu wa mchezo. So even when my nanny is on off and I want to give him food, it is hell on earth. We will fight in that house.
He feeds well. Does he have a special diet?
Yes. Those kids have special diets. Okay. You just don't give them anything. You just don't cook githeri and give them. No. They have special diets, and every day you have to give the kid a balanced diet. Like for Adrian, he's not able to chew. So we normally blend his food. No matter how old he is, we have to blend his food because now that is his way of feeding, and we can't change that. You can't change that. You just follow the normal routines. So breakfast he has to take this, at 10 he has to take this, lunchtime he has to take this, at 10 he has to take this, and then at 7 o'clock he has to take this. Yes.
Oh, nice.
And he loves milk very much.
Oh, wow.
I think that is why he's gaining his weight.
Yeah, he's really growing.
Yeah, he's 38 kgs now, and we are fighting very hard with this doctor because he told me, no, those kgs you have to reduce. You have to reduce. Yes, because he's overweight.
So you're feeding him so well.
Yeah, Adrian he eats well. Adrian, I remember last July when we had COVID and he was admitted in the ICU. So the doctors were very surprised because they were telling me, your kid is sick and he's feeding well. Then I was like, Adrian will stop eating when he's asleep.
Wow.
So he likes eating, and that is very good because you see, sometimes when you go to the hospital, you will see a kid that is like 12 years, but when you look at the kid physically, he's like 4 years or something, because the feeding of the kid is very, very poor. So when you get a kid that has a condition and feeds well, as a mom, yes, because it brings out some more things. The kid doesn't get sick easily, because now these kids, if they don't eat well, their bodies are very weak. Yeah, and getting sick is very, 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 very easy. But for Adrian, super good boy. I think it's a blessing. I'm always thankful to God for him.
That's very, very nice. Wow, thank you so much for telling us your story.
Yeah.
We truly appreciate, and we hope it encourages more people and more people. So do you have a support group so far? Do you keep your friends with the same special moms support group?
Yes, I have 4 support groups. Yes, and they are doing very, very nice. We support each other financially, spiritually. You see, if someone is in need of something, we come up together, we team up, and then we do this and this and this.
Wow.
Yeah, because without these groups, you can't stand alone. It is very difficult because sometimes people might see me, maybe Esther is that strong woman, hardworking woman, but sometimes it drains you. It reaches a point when you are alone and you just think of your kid, and especially when I see Adrian right now should be in grade 4, 5. So when I see his the kids that are his age mate going to school, sometimes it drifts you away. You know, we are human and you have feelings, so you'll feel bad. You're like, Adrian will be doing this right now. But again, when you get someone else in the group telling you, no, this is what is happening, we have to come to reality. And we have to move on. Life has to go on. Life has to go on, no matter what. Yeah,
it's very important. I like the spirit of resilience. Now, to any mom watching this, and maybe they have a child with special conditions who live around you, and they'd like to reach you, would you offer that kind of support?
Yes, I am very ready.
Oh, wow.
Any mom that feels drained, you need someone to talk to, they can always reach out for me. I'm always ready to speak out to any mom, regardless of the age. You know, maybe some are older than me. They may think that's a kid to me. Why? No. Anyone can reach out to me. I'm very, very easy. Very easy. Yeah.
Wow, nice. So we shall put out the numbers out there. I shall put out mine, then you can reach out to me, or I will ask her if she can put out her number for anyone who wants to reach out. Now, is your life special in any way? Do you have a normal life? Do you feel like Do you have a normal life?
Yes, me, I live a normal life.
You can have fun?
Yes, me, I have fun. When it's time for fun, it's time for fun. When it's time for working, it's time for working.
Okay.
When it's Adrian's time, it's Adrian's time. I live a normal life just like the other parents.
Wow.
Yeah, the only difference now with me and the other parents is like it's the kid. Now with these special kids, you might stay with him for 5 minutes and then after the other hour, boom, you're in the hospital. Yeah. So that is the only difference between me and the other and the other parents, but nothing else. Normal life. For the people who know me, I live my life to the fullest. I live my life to the fullest. Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. At least you've not taken that away from the girl Esther.
Yes.
Oh, so nice. I think there is a lot more we can tackle.
Yes.
But thank you so much for coming. I truly appreciate that you made time on a Sunday.
Yes.
And I said, because my voice is gone and she's available today, there's no way we are not having this interview. And thank you so much for sticking through to the end. If you know anyone who has a story that they've never told, never heard before, and you'd like to hear them here for the first time, please reach out to me. Asante sana.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate.
I think asante sana. Asante. Anyway, thank you so much. Please like this video, subscribe. We are growing, and I thank you so much for everyone who has subscribed, everyone who follows, and everyone who likes and shares. I mean, we are out to warm your hearts and tell stories that have never been heard before, encourage people, and just have conversations.